All right, all right, all right. Good morning. Sorry, I'm a celebrity, so I show up in my. We got 2 minutes? All right. We got 2 minutes, never mind. I'm a celebrity, so I show up late. Are we missing people here? This is Family Feud. 4 versus 2 is not fair. Although we have a genius. Speaking of which, the other day I was walking by the Apple store in the mall, and I saw somebody stealing. I think that makes me an eyewitness. Oh, makes me an eyewitness, people. And if you go by the Galaxy store, you see the security guards. They're called Guardians of the Galaxy. So that's who they are, Samsung. Guardians of the Galaxy. All right, enough of that. So we're going to get started. We do need the other 2 people that were designed to be part of this great family. Thank you for finding me. I apologize. Good morning, precious people of God, Family Feud fans who have watched the show over the years. I saw back in the day with the original host, and then that Louis guy that was a little hefty. And then later on, Steve Harvey. I don't have the mustache. I apologize. So we're going to play the feud today for Life Group Feud. And we're going to have these 2 teams against each other. I know you gave them names. What was the names again?
Team dinner, because we have dinner at our life groups. And then it's Team Finger Foods.
Team Dinner versus Team Finger Foods. I love it. Anything with food, bring it on. All right, so we're going to play the feud. I need 2 contestants. Maybe the captains come on up. We're going to play the feud, people. Let's give them a clap, a little clap, a little clap. A little clap. Sorry, I don't have the applause button to push. Applause button like they do in the pros. So, all right, going to play the feud. Ready? All right. So it's about speed and answering. Question number 1. All right. Give me the question. I need the question. Do you guys have the question? Oh, name an animal that starts with R. Oh, Jimmy.
Steve, I'm going to go with rabbit.
Rabbit. Do we have rabbit up there? Do we have rabbit? It's the number 1. Do you want to play?
You want to play and pass? Play and pass. Oh, we're playing.
They're playing. Let's go. Let's hear it for Team Dinner. They know how to party like it's 1999. All right, next question. All right, for Miss Chazlit. You are very lit. Let's see the next question. Now, it's the same question? No. Oh, you got to get all time. I apologize. I'm so used to just like mixing it up. Name an animal that begins with R.
Rooster.
Rooster. Part of the chicken family. Good answer, I think. Let's see. Is Rooster up there? Oh! Rooster's not up there. It's probably because it's part of the chicken family. So maybe it was chicken. Oh, no, wait. Rooster is up there. Oh, snap. Some technical difficulties. All right. Name an animal that begins with R.
Rattlesnake.
Rattlesnake. Yes, rattlesnake. That might be a good answer. Show me rattlesnake. No rattlesnake. I'm so sorry. But is it up there? It's not up there, right? For reals? It's not up there? Okay, it's not up there. Sorry. Joe, the Jets master, Russell.
I got one. Rhinoceros.
Rhinoceros. If you can spell rhinoceros, you're awesome. Rhinoceros, is it up there? Is it up there? Yes, rhino. They couldn't spell rhinoceros either, so they went for the short version, rhino. Let's go back to the top. Jimmy, name an animal that begins with R.
Steve, I'm going to go with raccoon. Show me raccoon.
Is raccoon up there? Raccoon. Yes, good answer. I hope you're not cheating. Okay, good. No cheating. Not from geniuses. I hope you don't know the answers. Okay. All right, let's see. Chaz, name an animal that begins with R. There are 4 answers left.
I go to the zoo a lot with my kids, and I don't know if it's going to be up there, but it's a ring-tailed lemur.
A ring-tailed lemur. I like to move it. We like to move it. I am physically fit. Okay. Ring-tailed lemur. It's a lemur. It's a general lemur, but it's got the ringtail in front of it. But that's a good answer, though. I would have said yes, but I'm not. I'm just 2 strikes. I know 1 more, and the finger food family will steal it. Name an animal that begins with R. Carol.
raccoon.
A rabbit raccoon. This is where Steve would say something snide and rabbit raccoon. Well, there are experiments underground that create weird mutants. I've seen Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles many times. So let's see, rabbit raccoon from the Ninja Turtles. No rabbit raccoon. You guys want to steal? You guys want to steal? All right, who's the captain? I'm Steve. You're pretty. I'm Steve with the mustache. All right, Steve.
We're going with a rat.
A rat! Whoa! Nobody likes a rat. I tell you. All right, is rat up there with the steal? Rat is up there with the steal. Finger food family stole it. Awesome. So that's it, right, for the first round? First round is over. You guys stole it. You get all those points. Can we get the points total up there for them? It's got to be like 90 points or something. All right, point total you guys stole. I need you, Steve. I need you, Chazlit. Come on up. We can play the feud. Play the feud. You guys still happy? You guys still enjoying this? Family Feud live. Never thought I'd do this in church. I'm not even getting paid for this. Anyways, all right, the question is. Oh, all right, ready, guys? Name a state where 100-degree temperatures are common. Oh, well, she no, go ahead.
Okay. A state. Florida.
Florida. Is Florida up there for 100 degrees temperatures is common? Oh, it's number one. I thought for sure it would be some other state that I will not name. Do you guys want to play? Dinner family's excited. Don't lose it this time. Don't let it go this time. Carol, name a state where 100 degrees temperature is very common.
Arizona.
Arizona. I was thinking the same thing. Phoenix, hello, hot. But it's dry heat. It's not the same. Go ahead. Is Arizona up there? Yes, number two. Number two answer. Arizona is very hot. Never been. Don't want to go. No pressure, Joe. Name a state, Joseph, where it's 100 degrees on a regular basis.
Partner, I'm going to go with Texas.
Texas. Brisket City. Brisket State of Texas. Oh, just three people. It's up there, though. It's up there. Jimmy, what's a state where 100 degrees is just common?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Nevada.
Good answer. Nevada. I think it's a good answer. Is Nevada up there? It's not right next to Arizona. It's got to be. Nevada's not up there? I'm shocked. I mean, isn't Area 51 out there? It's hot. Let's see. Chazlit. Name a state other than Florida where it's hot all the time.
Utah.
Utah. Is it hot in Utah? Let's see. Oh, yeah. Apparently it's hot. I did not know that Utah was hot. I did not know that. That's good to know. Don't go to Utah in the summer. Carol, name a state where it's 100 degrees on a regular basis.
New Mexico.
Oh, I think that's a good answer. Is New Mexico up there? Do you think New Mexico? New Mexico, yes. Versus Mexico. This is New Mexico. All right, Joe, no pressure. Go Jets. Name a state where it's 100 degrees on a regular basis, and Mexico doesn't count. No, because
Go with Louisiana.
Louisiana. I'll guarantee. Louisiana's up there. Is it up there? Oh, no Cajuns. No Cajuns suffering in heat. Oh, we got one more strike left for you guys. Come on, dinner people. Jimmy, you're the captain.
Yeah. Well, it's a rather big state, so I'm going to have to go with California.
California. I think that's a good answer. Is California up there? Or is it just it's up there. I thought California was just a state of mind, but apparently it's a hot state. All right. Name a state.
Georgia?
Georgia. That's where I'm from. George from Georgia. Is Georgia up there? No, it is not. I'm not from Georgia. I'm from a totally different country. All right. Can you guys steal again? You thieves, you. Holy thieves, Christian thieves. Can you steal a state where 100 degrees is common temperature?
I'm going to go with Alabama.
Alabama with a banjo on my knee. Come on, let's go home to Alabama. Is it up there? No, it's not up there. You retain. Second round. Let's see, what are the last two answers? Do we have the last two answers? Hawaii. I can see that. And Mississippi. Did not know that. There's a river there, but all right. So is there one more round? Is there like best 2 out of 3? We got next round. Okay, let's go, Carol. Let's go, Miss Lois. Mother against daughter. Oh my. It's a real family feud now. All right. All right. So the question is, name something a teen wouldn't be able to go without for a date. Oh, Miss Lois got it. Go ahead, Miss Lois.
Candy.
Candy. The answer, she says, is candy up there for a teen? Do teens still eat candy? Unless it's chocolate. Oh, snacks, food. Yeah, good answer. You guys want to play? You want to play? Oh, you got oh, that's right. I'm sorry. You get a chance to see if you have the number one answer.
Cell phone.
Cell phone. Oh, that's so easy. I was thinking the same thing. Cell phone. You want to play? They'll play again. They'll play again. Awesome. All right, Joe, you're next. What can a teen not go without? Sorry, teens, but we're exposing you, right? What can it go with? Cannot go without for a day?
Makeup.
Makeup. Even the guys? Makeup. Makeup. Let's see. Makeup. Is it up there? No, it's not up there. Maybe for girls, right? Teens in general. All right. What can a teen not go without? You have a teen, right? Or she always preteen?
But we're just getting started, so I don't know if I used to work with teenagers for quite a bit. Let's see. A teen couldn't go a day without a boyfriend or girlfriend.
Without a significant other for, a week or two, however long they were dating. Let's see. Is it up there? Friends. Friends, it counts. Boyfriend, girlfriend is friends. Good answer. All right. Name something a teen just can't go without for like a day. Like totally.
Music.
Music. Music. Good answer. That's a good answer. Is it up there? Music. Listening to music. They always got their earbuds. Back when I was growing up, they had the headphones, ginormous ones, and a Walkman, compact disc. Oh, Carol, what can a teen not go without for like a day?
Well, I don't think anyone could go out a day without a bathroom.
A bathroom. Bathroom. Is the bathroom up there? I mean, they got to go to the bathroom sometimes. They're teens. They're humans. Oh, no, it's not up there. I'm so sorry, Carol. Joseph, what can a teen not live without for like a day, bro?
You gotta say TV.
TV. Oh, I want my MTV when I was growing up. Not anymore. But what is it? A TV. I knew it was going to be up there. TV. All right, Jimmy, we're back to you.
Name something a teen wouldn't be able to go without for a day. Let's go with money.
Money. Oh, parents, you better be loaded. Your teen's not going to ask you for some money. Or if you're not, just go get a job. You'll have plenty of money of your own. Learn how to earn it. Money, is it up there? No, it's not up there. You guys get a chance to steal. You guys want to steal it. You guys want to steal it. What can a teen not go for without a day? Not even like.
We're going to go with social media.
Oh, now? Oh, good answer. Social media. Today's can't live without for teens. Is it up there? Social media. Show me social media for the win. Social media for the win. Wow. Finger food steals it. Let's play the final feud. We need two people. We need two people for the final feud. Oh, we need to see the last. Oh, no, we guys won. You need to say, okay, computer. Good. And the other one was? Video games. I would have said video games. Hello. I need two people from here for final family feud. Two people. You guys choose for speed. Speed. Come on. We got what? 30 seconds is it for the first round? All right. You got 20 seconds to give me the best answers. Turn your back. I'll try to talk as fast as I can, and you give me the best answer that you can think of. Are you guys ready for the final family feud? See if they win $20,000. All right. I'm ready for this. I have my coffee. Lee, question number one. Let's go. If you lived on Sesame Street, which character would you get on your nerves?
Big Bird.
Big Bird. Next question. Next question. So we might give him extra seconds because the question. We already had. Oh, name an animal with a terrifying bite.
Dog.
A dog, yeah, he's got a dog. Next question. Give him extra seconds, guys. Name something that can go wrong during a first kiss with someone.
First kiss with someone? You're nervous.
Nervous, yeah. Can we give him a few more seconds because the questions weren't coming up? Let him finish all the questions. I got two more, right? Two more questions. Okay, give me. Name a food that doesn't need to be refrigerated.
Yeah, peanut butter.
Peanut butter. And last question. Last question. Sorry, there's a delay in the question, so the timer won't work for us this morning. That's okay. The question is what matters. Name something that you might find around a pool.
Annette.
Annette. All right. Those are all your answers. Awesome. Do we have the points for him? Let's see. Question number one. Let's see. How many points did he get for question number one? If you lived on Sesame Street, which character would get on your nerves? All of them for me, but let's see number one. We have the first answer. So the first answer is going to be number. He said Big Bird. He said Big Bird. Big Bird would get on. Is that 41 points? Very good. I like to count. That's how I learned to count. Name an animal with a terrifying bite. He said dog because he has a big dog. Is that sounds good to me. 22. Yeah, that's a good answer. Good answer. 63 points so far. Name something that can go wrong during your first kiss with someone. He said you get nervous. 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 Let's see. Oh, no points there. He's right. He was on track, though. You get nervous. All right, next question. Name a food that does not need to be refrigerated. He said peanut butter, which I love. How many points did that get you? 2 points. Only 2 points? Wow. All right. Next one. Last question. Last question. Name something you might find around a pool. You said a net. He said a net or a fence. That fence net, yep. 8 points. 73 points. All right. Emiliano, was that the other player? Emiliano, come on up, Emiliano. Lee gave you 73 points, Emiliano. Yeah, wipe out the answers. Yeah, face this way. Wipe out the answers. Can you close the answers down? All right, thank you for facing this way. No cheating. Emiliano is honorable. All right. So now again, he helped you with 73 points. You just need 127 more, I think, to get to 200 so you can win the 20 grand for your family. All right. So let's see the questions again. Close those down and let's see the questions again from the top. So no timer because we're not that fast apparently. So if you lived on Sesame Street, no, don't look up. Don't look up. Don't look up. If you lived on Sesame Street, which character would get on your nerves?
Oscar.
Oscar. Okay, he said Oscar. Question number 2. Name an animal with a terrifying bite.
Alligator.
Alligator. Good answer. All right. Next question. Name something that can go wrong during a first kiss with someone.
Vomit.
Vomit. Oh, gross. Barf. Barfalicious. All right. Number 4. Number 4. Barfing can go wrong, yes. Number 4. Name a food that does not need to be refrigerated.
Honey.
Honey. Good answer. Yeah, good. I like that answer. Honey's true. And the last question. Last question, number 5. Name something that you might find around a pool.
Water noodle.
Water noodle. Water noodle was his final answer. Let's see. Now, turn around. You can see those answers, but let's see what your answers will get you. So, number 1, who's annoying you in Sesame Street? What's the... He said Oscar. What does Oscar give you for points? Let's see. 16. Big Bird was the most annoying. Naturally. The word's the Big Bird. Number 2, name an animal with a terrifying bite. He said dog. You said alligator. Alligator is stronger than a dog in bite. Let's see. Is that true? Is that... Oh, 8 points? Was dog the number 1 answer? Okay. Snake. Okay. Terrifying. Oh, yeah, terrifying, not strong. Terrifying because they got venom. Got you. Number 3, name something that can go wrong during a first kiss with someone. He said vomit. Let's see if 0 points. What was the number 1 answer? Huh? Bad breath. Yes. Bad breath. That makes sense. Bad breath. Vomit is worse than bad breath. But let's see. Name a food that does not need to be refrigerated. He said honey. Is that the number 1 answer? No. What was the number 1 answer? Bread? Bread is the number 1 answer. All right. And the last question was, name something that you might find around a pool. You said pool toys or noodles. And that gives you 2 points. What was the number 1 answer? Lounge chairs. Wow. You guys got 99 points. Didn't get the 20 grand. Oh, man, I'm so sorry. But thank you for playing the feud. Did you guys enjoy the live family feud? Isn't that awesome? Well, let's keep that energy going. God wants us to have fun and be serious at the same time.
Thank you, thank you. How'd y'all like that game?
That was so much fun.
Well, welcome to Forward Point. We are a community of faith, hope, and love, helping people find their. We believe you're here on Fora, and we like to help you any way we can. We love porpoises. So if you're a guest here today, we hope that you have been able to get your banana bread in the front and your welcome gift. That is very delicious, by the way. And yeah, how can we?
We want to welcome you again. You can text the word welcome to 315-883-2213. We just want to send you something else in the mail, a small token of our appreciation for you joining us today. And it's a great way to get connected. We also want to encourage you to participate any way that feels comfortable this morning. Sitting, standing, we're going to sing some songs. There's no right or wrong way to participate this morning. We just want you to have fun and feel comfortable.
And when you text the word welcome to the phone number, you will be able to fill out a digital connection card. We ask that you do fill that out. And then also we're on all forms of social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, and YouTube. Everything is on there, but we also have the Church Center app, which is the most convenient because everything on the social medias is on there, plus everything from our weekly gathering, the live stream, and all that stuff.
Yes. One of the most important things that are going to be on there is we are in the new season of life groups. All of these crazy people that you just saw up here are our faithful life group leaders, and we love them. I will tell you a quick story about my life group and how it led me to my husband. I met my mother-in-law in life group, so I kind of picked my mother-in-law before I met my husband. That might not happen at every life group, but it happened to me. It's just been a wonderful way to get plugged in and to have that constant weekly meeting where people know what's going on in your life and they truly come alongside you in anything that you may need. So we encourage that. They will be out, some of the leaders right after the lobby to meet them. So we encourage you to stay over just to say hi. Try one. If you don't like it, go to the next one. No harm, no foul there.
Yeah, definitely. Life group is so much fun. I love it. Team dinner, okay? Food is delicious. 10 times above finger foods. And
hey, Mama Skinner makes the finger foods at the Skinner's house, so I don't
food.
know about that.
But I like me my dinner. I need my full-on meal, or else I get hangry. Okay, and then we also have coming up a blood drive on September 17th from 9:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. 2024. Okay. Not 2025, okay? 2024 is going to be at the Eastwood American Legion, which is like down the street. It's a gray building, you know, where the old Friendlies is.
Yes.
And yeah.
And you can see Mr. Scott if you want more information on that. He'd be happy to help you. Huh?
Or get signed up today.
Woo! Yay! All right, and if you're a kiddo, get out of here. They are in the back willing to accept you, and we're going to continue with our gathering. Thank you so much.
Are you tired of small groups always getting into your business? Trying to get you to share your feelings, discuss your past, confess your sins? Are you just looking for a place to kick it, network, maybe get some free grub? Me too. That's why I created what I believe to be the world's first openly shallow small group. We're not here to deal with messy stuff like feelings and emotions. You got problems? You deal with them. You're an adult. Life ain't easy. So stop the pity party. We all have our issues. We don't really want to do life together. Frankly, at Shallow Small Group, we try not to do much of anything at all. You'll never hear us use the term unpack that thought. We're sure it's packed away for a really good reason. And you'll never hear us use the term accountability unless you're talking about someone who deals with numbers. Hey dude, thanks for doing my taxes. You have great accountability. And spiritual growth. Who wants growth? I had a growth removed last week. It wasn't pleasant. There's no pressure here to remember each other's name.
What's going on, buddy?
Oh, hey man, how's it going?
That's going good.
Hey, Chief. Oh, dude. Captain, what's going on?
We know you have a name, and that's the important thing. Group discussion? You got tickets to the big game? Sweet. Let's spend some time on that. Oh, you and your wife are struggling financially? There's tension in the relationship? That's not really the vibe we're going for. We avoid conflict like the plague.
Who wants cake? Come on and get it!
And there will never, ever be an awkward silence. That's our guarantee to you. We hate bad theology as much as the next guy, and we know the surest way to prevent bad theology is to avoid theology altogether. And outreach? This is the only outreach you'll ever have to do. Some people say we're superficial, but hey, the word super's and superficial. I mean, who doesn't want to be super? Shallow small group, because when things get too deep, people drown. Won't you join us?
Yeah, good morning, Ford Point. How's everybody doing today? It's great to see you all. We're excited about our kickoff for life groups here today, and they all start this week. I'm a little curious, just a quick poll of my own. Who here has ever heard a story or dealt with a vomit on their first kiss situation before? Is that a pretty popular? Yeah, I didn't know what was going on there. Emiliano, we'll have to unpack that later in a life group, for sure. We're glad that you could all be here and join us together. Excited to be here this morning. I don't know if you guys heard or not, but there was a debate this week. I don't know if anybody watched it or paid attention to it. There was a pretty obvious, clear winner, in my opinion, in the debate. The Bills won 31-10 in this debate. You probably saw it if you're a Bills fan here in this area. We enjoy a good Bills game around here. A lot of Bills fans. I think there's an occasional Jets fan here or there, but definitely in the minority around here. Here's the funny thing about different kinds of debates, like what we see during the celebration of the Bills win here, right? We tend to reinterpret reality based on our kind of own narrow perception of life, right? The different things that we kind of think and believe and do. Just look at the description of this win from the Bills Mafia, right? They say, Bills win. Bills stomps the undefeated Miami. Now, undefeated, right? If you didn't know much about football, it would be sound kind of important, right? But the reality is that everybody's only ever played one game, and it just so happens that Miami won their first game, so they're the undefeated Dolphins, right? Isn't that the undefeated Miami Dolphins and improves to 2-0 on the season, the NFL's only 2-win team, right? Also, in this NFL season, only one of two teams that have played 2 football games, right? So there's no other teams that have played 2 games, and it just happens that the Bills were one of those 2 teams, and they come out winning. So it's communicated in a way to make them sound like out of all the teams, they're the best record. They're just the ones who have played 2 games. And that's kind of an example of what we tend to do when it comes to life. We tend to reinterpret things, maybe translate things, maybe say them in a way that kind of fits our narrative, kind of fits our dialogue, kind of fits our worldview that we believe in. And what happens is we tend to like our reality. We tend to like our worldview, so we surround ourselves with people who will reinforce that worldview or that thought process. We tend to surround ourselves and pursue them and only tend to hang around those kind of people. Now, we're not going to do any kind of show of hands to see if that's something that you've found yourself doing, because it's human nature, and unless we're intentional about it, that's something that we all do. There's a good chance if you look around at the different places you hang out or the different people that you do life with, a lot of them probably resemble the things that you think, the things that you do, and the way that you live. Because we like our reality, and we like people who share our reality and our perception and our worldview. And that's what we do. And we see this in all sorts of different areas. We see this in sports, right? We love to watch the game with people who are fellow Bills fans or fellow Jets fans, right? I personally don't really care much about football. I think just being a traumatic experience growing up as a kid, I was a really big Bills fan when they lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. And ever since then, I had 2 choices, right? Go to therapy to work through it or just abandon football altogether. So I chose to abandon football altogether. But now, kind of getting back into things, we have a lot of people who enjoy the Bills. I enjoy good times with people. Some of my best times last year, I remember when we got people together over at my house to watch a Bills game in the playoffs, and people are cheering and excited, and those are fun places, fun environments to hang out, right? Another place that we do this is in religion, in faith. Right, they say that Sunday is the most segregated day of the week because everybody kind of goes to different buildings with a bunch of people who all look like them, think like them in a particular area, sing like them. They do different things. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, the big one, right? We all do this in politics. We probably have some kind of letter next to our name when it comes to politics. So what do? We hang out with people who share that letter. We're always around them. We think, man, we're the ones who are thinking the right way. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. So it's got to be the right way. And we're just going to surround ourselves with people who act, look, and think the way we do when it comes to politics. Maybe if you're a young person, you have clubs in college or in school, and you hang around your different club friends because they enjoy the same things that you do. So you're constantly spending time together in those clubs. But if we think about a much bigger picture, we are all Forward Point a part of a much bigger club that everyone in humanity is a part of, and that is a part of the Fallen Club. We have all fallen short, right, and find ourselves on this side of being held down by sin. But we don't tend to identify with that club. We try to avoid that club. We try to stuff that club and assume all these other roles and all these other people in these roles because it makes us feel better. Identifying or standing side by side as part of the fallen nature club doesn't really kind of have the same happy-go-lucky feeling nowadays as we'd like. So we fragment into these little sections that are much easier to live by. And as is the case with any of our clubs that we experience and that we're a part of, we tend to have quite a level of grace and complacency for other members in our club. If you are in one political party, there's a good chance that you overlook a lot of the things that you point out and demonize in the other party. If there's a certain football or sports team that you're a part of, there's probably a good chance that you overlook some of the shortcomings and the failings that they have that you point out and make fun of and mock in another rival team, because that's what we tend to do. And as such, as members of the Fallen Nature Club, we tend to point out instead we point out the flaws of other people instead of our own. And we've come to a very kind of segmented, fragmented place, even in church culture in 2024. That you and I believe have a part of redeeming. And what I believe as we kick off life groups today, one of the ways we have to kind of undermine this in our culture is by being a part of and committed to a life group. I remember early on in my faith reading a book by John Eldredge, and he started to describe this picture. He says, most of the time people think about the worst thing that could ever have happened to humanity is the fall. Right? We think about having bitten of the apple and sin entered into the world, and now there's all this pain and suffering that we experience and that we're a part of. And he says most people think of that as being the worst thing that could ever happen to man. And he says, you know what, I don't agree. What I think is the worst thing that could ever happen to us as humanity is that we have become okay with that. Is that we've been accustomed to living in this fallen world, so now we just kind of capitulate to our different shortcomings and just gloss over any of the areas that we deal with, instead of confronting these very real things that we struggle with and that we deal with. And we cannot do that alone. Forward Point this morning, we're going to be nailing down this idea that you cannot do alone what you were made to do together. It's not just like this is a really good way to do it. This is just, Family Feud. This is the number one answer. This is the only answer. This is how you and I were designed to grow in our likeness of being more like Christ, is the people around us. And if that's what you want to do in reality, not just in namesake, then you need the people around you. Here on a Sunday morning, sure, that's good, but in a life group, we say all the time, like, life change happens in circles, not in rows, because there's something that happens when we do gather around, we look each other in the eye, we embrace, we hug, we share, we get vulnerable. Some pretty powerful things begin to happen. I mean, we have an example of this just yesterday at the men's breakfast. I know all the breakfasts kicked off yesterday, and I'm sure the women's was great. I wasn't there, so I can't speak from experience. But at the men's group, we had some folks from Teen Challenge, and they joined us. It was a real awesome group, and Lee shared about the armor of God, and then we broke into smaller groups and kind of worked our way through some questions. And we had some guys who just were super vulnerable, but it didn't start off being super vulnerable. It kind of started off tiptoeing around some kind of, 50,000-foot answers that everybody could say, everybody knows, and we could have just gone on from there. But we paused for a second, and we asked a question to kind of dig a little deeper into what that person was saying. And all of a sudden, the openness and the vulnerability and the reality and the truth of their story began to be shared. And then there were some watery eyes, and there were some hugs, and we prayed over people. And that can't really happen in this setting. In this setting, we get to kind of talk in the 50,000-foot view, right? We kind of in generalities and big principles. But we need environments where someone kind of wades through the awkward silence and asks kind of a follow-up question to dig a little deeper into what somebody was saying. Because all of us kind of just, by nature, we don't go there. By nature, we kind of sit real high and don't go too specific. But if someone takes the time and the moment to rest and then say, can you tell me why that's true for you? What happened that makes you feel that way? And all of a sudden, we start to go into some real life change experience, because you can't do alone, Forward Point, what we were made and designed to do together. And it's not the together part that is failing us, but it's the flag that we fly when we're together. And a lot of us are real good at kind of flying flags of sports teams or politicians or all sorts of other things, but we don't really do a good job of flying the flag of Jesus, of being more like Jesus. We invest a lot of resources, maybe donate to political campaigns, maybe buy sports apparel. We're real good at those areas of togetherness. But those areas of togetherness are not going to change your life, at least in a way that's going to make a difference or an impact for eternity. And at Forward Point, that's what we are about, is one, to make a difference for your eternity, but to make a difference for the eternity of the neighborhood surrounding us. And we believe, man, we have some vision of some awesome things that we believe God wants to do through us here at Forward Point. But it can't just happen with autopilot coming every Sunday or every once in a while on a Sunday. We got to be committed to say, you know what, I need a group of people to be in my life, because without them, I cannot do it alone. And we want to be formed. We're going to be intentional. We want to be more like Jesus. a year from now, we want to be more like Jesus than we started off to today. So I'm asking that this group, this life group, would be committed to that process in my life, and I'm going to be committed to that process in the other people in that group's life, because we cannot do alone what we were designed to do together. So today we're going to be diving back into Hebrews, where we started a couple weeks ago. Remember, this kind of last third section of the Bible is a bunch of letters that some apostles and were writing to the church, specific things that people who say, I want to follow Jesus, we have these words. So these are words that are designed for you and I in our desire to be more like Jesus. If you're here and you're still checking out the faith thing, and maybe you haven't decided to live for Jesus, then you're kind of getting an inside view of some things in the way we should live. You probably can critique us and say, man, church people, they don't live that way. And for the most part, you would probably be right. But this morning, Hebrews is specifically for people who say, I want to be more like Jesus in my life. So these words are part of a flag that we're called to live under in being more like him. Because we don't want to just be okay with what happened in the garden and then live every day kind of just knowing, it's bound to happen. I'm destined to fail. It's just the way life is. Let's not be okay with that. Let's refuse to just conform to the general flow of humanity. Because you cannot do alone what you were made to do together. So if you've been with us for any length of time, over the summer we kind of went through the first part of Acts, really getting a big picture of what the early church looked like, so we can try to align ourselves to that. While some of our model may be different than what they did, the message is going to be the same. The principles are going to be the same for us, so we're realigning to that. And since September, we've kind of been looking at some specific things and how we've designed Forward Point to kind of push people through this process of intentional discipleship. You may not realize it from there, but we kind of have a strategy that we're constantly pushing people through. The first thing is we have a community of people that we want to build bridges to. And that's why we have love handles. That's why we're constantly doing things in our community, because we just want to let people know how much we love them and how much we're here for them. And there's no point in us being here if it's not for them. We want to move people from our community to people here on a Sunday morning. That's kind of our next area. We want to have Sunday mornings be a place where we can invite people to. That we're going to try our best to make it as fun, as inviting, as warm, as applicable as we possibly can, so you feel comfortable with the relationships God brings into your life, that you can bring people here on a Sunday morning. But we don't want people just to stay here on a Sunday morning. This, for us, is not the end goal. This, as you look around the people that are here, for us, the next goal is now we're going to try to push you into a life group, into a group of people who begin to know you, know your past, know your hang-ups, where the life group leaders really step in and kind of become your pastors and care for you. That when you have a problem, when there's an issue going on in your life, man, you're not picking up the phone, you're like speed dial Stephen or Jimmy. The first place you go just naturally is your life group leader, because they're the one who's looking after you. They're the one who is constantly involved and invested in your life, in that life change. And last week we started talking about this idea of what it looks like to be meeting together, to turning our tables into bars, into these places where community begins to happen. And today we're going to continue that. So if you have the YouVersion app, you can open that to the book of Hebrews. Or if you have your Bibles, we're going to be looking at Hebrews chapter 3, starting with verse 12. And it says this, it says, so watch your step, friends. Make sure that there's no evil belief lying around that will trip you up and throw you off course, diverting you from living from the living God. Now when you read it, if you read it like me, I kind of read it at first and I kind of naturally think of myself as being in the driver's seat here. It feels like the author of Hebrews is talking to me on how I'm supposed to live for me. Like I'm in control of these things. Like I'm the hero of the story. I'm responsible for these things. And if you're anything like me, then, and even in our culture, what we tend to do is, all right, how do we make this bigger and better and faster? How do we blow this up? How do we get this out there as fast as we can, right? And you know who else was like that? Tim the Toolman Taylor, right? right? Any time that he had something that they were working on, right? We're gonna build a birdhouse. Real simple. Let's build a birdhouse. We're gonna feed the birds. And they're putting it together, and there's all the tools. And what does he do? He thinks, sure, that's a good way of building the birdhouse. But what if we use this monster Binford 5 billion tool, right? And all of a sudden, there's an insurance claim, someone's hurt and lose fingers or toes or clothes because of what he's doing. And we're not too different from that. Even in church world, we think, man, how do we do it bigger, faster, stronger? Because we think the goal is to have as many people claim to be Christians as quickly as possible. So how do we follow Jesus? Faster, bigger, better. How do we give people booklets that, the 4 spiritual laws, or, the 10 things to do to be good with Christ and you're good for the rest of your life? Because we just want to blow things up because we're bigger, better, faster. How do we do that? I've seen this personally, even in the kind of genesis and of giving in different faith circles and churches. Growing up for me, when it came time for offering, it was part of our service, and there was these gold plates that people would pass from aisle to aisle. And I remember at times even being a part of the usher team, and we would go down with these, plates, and we would get them. There would be prayer, and then we'd kind of do 2 at a time, right? And we had to wrestle and kind of go back and forth, and some lines were faster than other lines. So you kind of had to run back real quick, and that was one way of doing the offering growing up. I thought that's the way everybody did it because that's just the way that we did it. But it turns out there's actually other ways that people have done offering in church communities. I got to hear kind of a civil rights movement hero of mine, John Perkins. He was here in Syracuse a while back, and he was speaking at a church, and I remember going there to listening to him. And part of that service there is they played a song, and during that song, everybody would kind of line up, kind of Macarena style. Is the only way I can think. What's the da 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 da? Whatever. Is that the Macarena? What is that? Conga. Thank you. The conga line. It was the conga line style, right? And they all kind of just went through. The offering box was there on the front of the stage, and everybody just in a line, conga style. So, I don't know, there's probably some people who I think just got up in the conga line and were just like pretending to do stuff, because you can't tell me every single person in that church was given. It just was, not happening. But that's how they did it, and everybody had a great time. And I just thought, wow, that's different. That's interesting. Neither right nor wrong, I suppose, just different. And that's how they did it. And then just recently, this last summer, we were on a vacation, and we were driving back from out west, and we stopped in Louisville to see one of my former students. He's a worship pastor at a church, and this is him, Isaiah Brock. One of the ways that they did it is very similar. They played a song that was kind of the offering song, and during that song, anytime during that song, people could come up to the front of the stage, and there was a thing up at the front there, and they would just put it in, right? Again, it's different than what I've experienced. Is it right? Is it wrong? I don't know. But it's different. That's how they did things. And then shortly after this experience, I'm a part of some different, church Facebook groups, and somebody had asked the question about, what do you guys think between having the boxes on the wall for your giving versus passing the plate, right? And I'm thinking, man, of all the things we got going on in the world, these are the questions that we wrestle with in church leadership. But the question itself wasn't even as shocking to me as one of the first responses that I read. And what the person proceeded to say is that definitely go back to passing the plate, because our giving dramatically went up when we passed around the plate, right? And it began to reveal to me, man, some of the thought process behind why churches do some of the things that they do. This particular church, I don't know who this person was or where they're from, but their goal, by their answer, at least for this person, was less about forming people to be generous like Jesus has called us to do, but more about how do we increase giving? How do we get bigger, better, and faster at giving in our church? Right? Because for some churches, they're dependent on a certain budget. And if they don't get the budget, then that might mean they got to lay people off or less ministries. And I guess I get that and I understand that. But at some point, we built our structure around this idea that's going to force us to think, man, bigger, better, faster, instead of how do we raise people to say, in being more like Jesus, he's called me to live generously, that my job is to put that on you, right? And whether or not you make it a point to give in a passing plate or to give in a box, that's not on me. That's on you. That's on what God has called you to be here in 2024 in Syracuse, New York. He's called you to live generously. What does that look like for you? That's not an answer for me to decide. I'm not going to change the way we do things here based on what do I think is going to give me the most return for my investment. Right? Passing the plate kind of provides a little bit more pressure on people that, oh, it's right there in front of me. I'm going to make it easy. It's not about us trying to make it easy. It's about us pushing you into these steps to form you into what it looks like to be more like Jesus. So the trajectory for us, 4 Point, is not people who give more. It's not a higher percentage of people who give. Our trajectory is Jesus. And this is why trajectory is so important, the direction that we go, because you and I could start off at the same place and even be headed in generally the same direction. One of us towards Jesus, one of us in giving. And at first, for a good portion of our time, we may be walking in line and in step with each other. But over the course of weeks and months and years, and even a lifetime of living this way, our end results, our end destinations are going to be two very different places. Because trajectory is so important. Just the slightest difference, the slightest degree over time is going to put us in very different places. And it's important for us to get back because in a lot of areas of faith, our trajectories are all out of whack. We have trajectories that are kind of pointed towards the direction of Jesus. But over the course of lifetimes, generations, what we're realizing is, man, we've gotten to a place where we're not quite looking like Jesus as much as we could or we should. So how do we do that? How do we realign our trajectory to get back to the same place? And the author of Hebrews begins to paint this picture for us as he's challenging followers of Christ. He says, you need to there's going to be things that throw you off course. There's going to be either things are going to happen to you, or either you're going to be focused on something other than the main thing, and your trajectory is going to be off course. At some point, the goal has stopped being Jesus, and it became something else, fill in the blank. It's going to be different for all of us, I'm sure. Some overlap maybe, but for the most part, we all have different things. Well, we're all still doing godly things. We're all still making a point to, when we can, come on a Sunday morning. Maybe some of you, yes, committed to going to a life group and even serving. But if any of those things are the trajectory, then over the course of time, you're going to find yourself off course. And he says, man, watch out. There's going to be things that are going to throw you off course. So how do you prevent that from happening? And he goes on to say, he says, for as long as God's still calling us today, keep each other on your toes so sin doesn't slow down your reflexes. What started off as, hey, do not, right? You're responsible. This is something you need to do. He begins to all of a sudden pull the carpet, the tablecloth out from under the table, and it's each other. We need each other to be able to do this. This is not something that you can do alone. You cannot do alone what you were made, what you were designed to do together. Our bodies, right? We're constantly slowing down. We're in the process of dying, right? It's kind of a little morbid to think about. But it's the same thing for our spiritual lives. Like our spiritual lives, by default, are going to slow down, are going to decline, are going to die, unless we are active and intentional to flip the script and to pursue Jesus, to stay on target, to check our trajectory. And to do that, we need each other. We need each other to be able to do this. The trajectory is important. Where are we? We're going to begin to challenge our trajectory. But also, the frequency is important. And we talked about last week this idea, right? Meeting in temples and meeting in homes. The New Testament church, they were doing this on a daily basis. That's some pretty intense frequency. We understand going to work, but even in going to work, we demand to have 2 days off, or else you better pay us some time and a half. So we understand giving our lives over to something with intense frequency. But when it comes to our faith, I'm kind of okay with the way things are. I'm kind of okay with just this kind of subpar, whatever gets me through and maybe into the pearly gates at the end. I'm kind of okay with that. But the author gives us this frequency that God kind of calls us to. As long as God's still calling it today, basically he's saying every day you're called to have this kind of formation happening in your life. That's why maybe a generation ago, like for me, it was not out of the ordinary to have a church that you were a part of. They met Sunday morning multiple times. You had Sunday school, and then you had the service. And then you had the Sunday night service that you would go back for. And then you'd have the midweek service you would be a part of. And then you go to a small group on top of that. And man, you just had the doors open to the church every single day, and people were always there. Because there was this natural formation kind of built in, where we thought as long as we had the doors open and people in the church building, that was forming people to be more like Jesus. But it didn't work. And we said, man, if I can be this way going to church 4 days a week, or be this way and only go once a month, might as well just go once a month. I can do other stuff with that time. And our frequency, our intensities begin to decrease more and more because we're okay with it. We're okay with the way we are right now. It doesn't have to increase. We still, looks like we're still headed toward Jesus, even though our trajectory has been slightly tweaked. So our frequency, it's either increasing or it's decreasing, but it can't stay static. If you think you're good just the way that you are, then you are unfortunately on a path that's off trajectory, that is decreasing when compared to what God has called you to and what he has for you. And life groups, man, life groups are like this gateway drug to increased frequency. There are some people who I started life group with, and I thought, man, I got to find a new life group, and I'm the life group leader, right? But it didn't take long before, man, I cannot wait for life group. And then it didn't take long for, man, now our life group is going out for doing outings together or getting together after our Sunday morning gatherings. I mean, we do all sorts of other stuff outside of our life group time. Because something happens when a bunch of people towards the same trajectory, there's a natural increased frequency when you get enough people together who say, man, we want to be more like Jesus. Man, we want to be who Jesus has called us to be in our community. This is just naturally going to begin to happen. And that's what you were designed for, Forward Point. And you can't do it alone. You need the people around you. Life groups are the best way to do that. And the author of Hebrews goes on and he begins to wrap it up this way, this challenge. He says, if we can only keep our grip on the sure thing that we started out with, we're in this with Christ for the long haul. And I'm sure all of us can kind of think about that moment, that time when we first kind of stepped into a position of faith for ourselves. There's a good chance it was filled with a lot of emotion, a lot of excitement, a lot of passion, and you came out thinking, man, bring it on, devil, bring it on, world, right? I'm going to go after it. And maybe you reflect and think, man, there's a disparity between where my life was then and where my life is now. And if you stop for a minute and ask the question, man, how did I get here? There's a good chance that something about your trajectory, you got knocked off course. And there's something about the intensity, the frequency. It's just not quite what it once was. It's beginning to decline. And he says, here's the key, is you got to keep a grip. You got to have a firm grip, man. You got to refuse to let go. And the first thing that came to my mind for this, when I think about those, you ever held on to something so tight like it leaves an imprint in your hand? And it's almost like reforms your hand. When we were in Indiana, it was very much a kind of lake, touristy kind of place. And one of the things that the groups love to do is go on the water and do tubing. Anybody ever gone tubing before? I in my life had never gone tubing before. I hate the water, right? I can't stand the water. I grew up, again, always having like sinus issues after being in the water, so I just avoided water altogether. I definitely hate salt water, but man, I just hate water. But when I got there, they had already planned a calendar of things that I had to do coming into and that was on there. The camping was on there. Oh, don't get me started on camping, okay? Can't stand camping. But another one was one of these, tubing exercises. So here I am, a newbie, I hate water, and I have got to earn the respect of these people because they don't know me from Adam. So I say, you know what? I am not letting go of this tube with everything that's in me. And don't you know, man, we're going down this thing, and they're doing all the things you do in a boat, carrying a tube, and I start to do this thing. You ever heard of a barrel roll, right? Where you like are flipping around, but you don't let go. Most of the time, people let go and they fall off. Oh, not me. I did not let go. Afterwards, they were like, Jimmy, how did you do that? That was amazing. I was the only one who did the barrel roll. It was awesome. It was like a, kind of thing happening as I was doing it. Oh, it's natural. I do it all the time. Then I look at my hands, and literally, like, there's an imprint of the handles from the tubes on my hands because I had gripped this thing so hard. I had so much riding on this. The stake of all my future ministry there in Indiana relied on me being able to be a somebody in front of all these people, and I refused to let go. But man, my hands stayed like that for at least a week with those little imprints on it. Because I thought, man, that is so important. I've got to have this. And I'm sure we can think of all sorts of areas in our life where we have got to have this that aren't really on God's radar. There's some of us who think, man, I have got to have this politician in office or else it's the end of the world. And that's not in trajectory with being more like Christ. Right? God didn't say, man, you are going to be able to have life and life to the fullest if the right politician gets into office. No, he says, no matter what's happening in the world around you, you may be in the Colosseum and the truth's going to come out about what you're gripping onto. And if you're gripping on to anything other than me, you're going to find yourself very disappointed, very unfulfilled, very let down. Because your end goal, your end trajectory, while maybe pointed in the right direction, it looks like it's headed towards Jesus. In reality, it's not. And it's going to fall short. And it's going to leave you very unfulfilled. So we want to refuse to let go. We want to refuse to, maybe you came in and thought, life group, that's the last thing that I am going to be a part of, that I want to be committed to. But this morning, 4-point, let me challenge you. That if you want to go beyond just status quo, if you want to go beyond just a faith that kind of feels like a roller coaster and hit and miss, and only with the excitement of maybe the environment around you, then it's time that we get some people in our lives that are going to help us to say, where is our trajectory? What are we truly headed after? Can you speak into my life in that area? Can we together begin to kind of help us all, kind of like a baby tree does, where they got the tension on either side to help it make it straight? Maybe we can all be the tension in our lives to help us go towards that goal. And you know what, man, this Sunday morning thing and this Wednesday or Friday or Thursday thing is really good, but man, can we get together for breakfast? Can we get together and the intensity and the frequency begins to increase? Maybe for us, 4-point, today can be that kind of day for us. as you reflect and you look at your hands, and what kind of imprints do you see there? What is it that you're holding on to? And is it this morning, man, your hands, there's a good chance that a lot of us have hands gripped around other people's necks. Right? There's a good chance that there's a lot of people that have some of your fingerprints around their neck because you've been going after them. Maybe not physically, but metaphorically, you've been going after them and based on how they live and how they act, and they don't claim to have any kind of relationship with God, or they haven't asked you to speak into their life, but man, you still feel, it's my job. That's what God's calling me to do. And there's people that got some finger marks around their neck, and that's what you've been gripping onto. What is it? What is it this morning that you've been gripping onto in your hands or grasped down? Because we want to be in this for the long haul, Forward Point. We want to, not just your life and my life, but man, in all the lives of the people upstairs in that room, we want to be in this for the long haul for them. We believe that we can propel Forward Point so much farther, not even for us, but for what we're going to hand over and what we're going to empower the next generation to do today and tomorrow. Because we're in this for the long haul. This is not a light commitment, but this is an important commitment. This is a commitment we're going to ask that for the next 9 months that you just get serious about being a part of this group's life. And now we have years of kind of life groups under our belt, and there's a lot of our groups, man, they don't even stop meeting because they just love getting together. That's the kind of community that you can find and you can be a part of, in which we want to push you towards this morning. So after part of our response, we're going to sing some songs this morning, but we're going to have our life group leaders, some of them you saw up here this morning, but they're going to be out front, and you can ask them some questions, you can get to know them, see the details of their group, when they meet, if they're a dinner, if they're a finger foods group. And our principle for finding a life group, we say one and done. You try one, and you can be done. If you don't like it, if it's not your fit, try a different one. Our life group leaders know for the first couple of weeks, it's very fluid, and people are kind of figuring out what works for their schedule, and they're okay with it. But then in a couple of weeks, we start to then get focused, and we're going to start asking, hey, we missed you last week. Where were you? What's going on in your life? But if at first you got the life group leader who's a little cuckoo, it could be mine, then you try a different one. But it's what we need. Because Forward Point, you cannot do alone what you were designed to do together. So would you find a group this morning to do life together with? God, we're so grateful that you created us as people who are dependent upon each other. And as we can sometimes kind of grow stagnant and just life on our own and doing things our own way and introvert and just, okay, you created us for so much more than that. Even if it's not our default, even if it's not what we would choose on our own, you created us to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. That what was uncomfortable today, as we begin to walk into it and we begin to refuse to allow it to push us away, begins to get comfortable for us, and then you're going to call us the next day into a new area of uncomfortableness. But God, for so many of us, we miss out on life change because we're still on level 101 and refusing to step into the uncomfortableness. So would you help us this morning? Would your Spirit just come and begin to work on our hearts, to just stir us up to the point where we cannot, maybe sleep, we can't leave, we can't do anything until we talk to the leaders, till we get the information, until we start to pursue this, so that we can be, as Forward Point, all that you've called us to be here in Syracuse.
Come
to the end of myself. I know that without you I'm broken. I put all the pieces of me at your feet. It's what you speak, it's what I need. Hear my soul cry desperately. Here I am. I've come to the end of myself. I need you and nothing else. Everything at your feet. The little things, everything in between. Surrendering every part of me. Everything, everything at your feet. Oh, you pulled me out of the dark. Now I'm running out in the open. I'm starting over again. Second chance to begin. Everything at your feet. The little things, everything in between. Surrendering every part of me. Everything, everything at your feet. Everything at your feet. The little things, everything in between. Surrendering every part of me. Everything, everything at your feet. Your forgiveness, freely offered, never wavers, never falters. Leaving my past on the altar. Lay it down, I lay it down. All the broken put together. All the orphans, sons and daughters. Leaving our past on the altar. Lay it down, I lay it down. Your forgiveness, freely offered, never wavers, never falters. Leaving my past on the altar. Lay it down, I lay it down. All the broken put together. All the orphans, sons and daughters. Leaving our past on the altar. I lay it down at your feet. All of me, hear my soul cry desperately. Here I am. I've come to the end of myself. I need you and nothing else. Everything at your feet. The little things, everything in between. Surrendering every part of me. Everything, everything at your feet. Everything at your feet. The little things, everything in between. Surrendering every part of me. Everything, everything at your feet.
Darkness we were waiting, without hope, without light, till from heaven you came running. There was mercy in your eyes, to fulfill the law and prophets. To a virgin came the word, from a throne of endless glory to a cradle in the dirt. Alright, sing with us. Praise the Father. Praise the Father. Praise the Son. Praise the Spirit. Three in one. God of glory, majesty. Praise forever to the King of Kings. reveal the kingdom's coming and to reconcile the lost, to redeem the whole creation. You did not despise the cross, for even in your suffering you saw to the other side, knowing this was our salvation. Jesus, for our sake you died. Let me hear you praise the Father. Praise the Father, praise the Son, praise the Spirit, three in one. God of glory, majesty, praise forever to the King of kings. And the morning that you rose, all of heaven held its breath, till that stone was rolled for good, for the Lamb had conquered death. And the dead rose from the tombs, and the angels stood in awe, for the souls of all who come to the Father are restored. And the church of Christ was born, and the Spirit lit the flame. Now this gospel truth of old shall not kneel, shall not fade. By His blood and in His name, in His freedom I am free. For the love of Jesus Christ, who has resurrected me. Praise the Father, praise the Father, praise the Son, praise the Spirit, three in one. God of glory, majesty, praise forever to the King of praise. Praise the Father, praise the Son, praise the Spirit, three in one. God of glory, majesty, praise forever to the King. Praise, oh praise forever to the King of kings. Oh praise forever to the King of kings.
I have a hard time hearing things in here. All right, here we go. Turn up a little more here. Whew, okay. So just for the record, since I like to tell on myself and Katrina, I've never, she's never vomited in my mouth, so that's a good thing. I've done probably enough things to probably make her want to do that though, but let's see here. You can go to her afterwards, and I'll have to have the photo sometime of my Mike Tyson front tooth being missing, and that was over a kiss. Never try to kiss someone when you're on the ice. So yes, I do wonder if it's gonna hold for the rest of my life. I do look at it, I'm like, thank you God, it's still there. So, all right here.
I see is the battle, you see my victory. I see is the mountain, you see the mountain move. And as I walk through the shadow, your love surrounds me. There's nothing to fear now, for I'm safe with you. Let me hear you, church. So when I fight on my knees with my hands lifted high. Oh God, the battle belongs to you, and every fear I lay at your feet. Oh, I'll sing through the night. Oh God, the battle belongs to you. And if you are for me, and if you are for me, can be against me. Through Jesus, there's nothing impossible for you. When all I see are the ashes, you see the beauty. What I see is a cross, God. You see the empty tomb. So when I fight on my knees with my hands lifted high. Oh God, the battle belongs to you, and every fear I lay at your feet. Oh, I'll sing through the night. Oh God, the battle. Sing again. So when I fight, I'll fight on my knees with my hands lifted high. Oh God, the battle belongs to you, and every fear I lay at your feet. Oh, I'll sing through the night. Oh God, the battle belongs to you. Almighty fortress, you go before us. Nothing can stand against the power of your God. You shine in the shadows, you win every battle. Nothing can stand against the power of our God. Almighty fortress, you go before us. Nothing can stand against the power of our God. Shine in the shadows, you win every battle. Nothing can stand against the power of our God. So when I fight on my knees with my hands lifted high. Oh God, the battle belongs to you, and every fear I lay at your feet. Oh, I'll sing through the night. Oh God, the battle belongs to when. So when I'll fight on my knees with my hands lifted high. Oh God, the battle belongs to you, and every fear I lay at your feet. Oh, I'll sing through the night. Oh God, the battle belongs to you. And oh God, the battle belongs to you.
Are you live? I think she's live.
I think I'm live.
Guys, we just want to thank you again for joining us today. Again, if you are a guest, please text the word welcome to 315-883-2213. We would love to send you that small token of our appreciation in the mail.
And then also, blanking. Oh yeah. So we talked about generosity and giving generously today. We have 4 ways that we can do that. We have the joy box in the back because giving is a joy. You can text any amount to the number 84321. And then also you can go online to forwardpoint.org. And then there's also the Church Center app. Again, the Church Center app is a great way to get connected and stay connected. Everything is on there.
Yes. If there is anything heavy on your heart this morning or something you want to be prayed with or about, we do have our prayer corner in the back. It is a great team. Please use them. Don't leave with something heavy on your heart this morning.
And then the Palace is so generous to let us use this place on Sunday mornings, but they do have other events throughout the week. So if you can and have time after the gathering, we meet back there to help get some brooms and stuff and clean up the space for the future events.
And if we are visiting out in the lobby area today, please don't forget your kids before you do that so that our leaders down there can get here and do some visiting as well. Thank you so much, and we're going to continue with one last song.
I just want to speak the name of Jesus over every heart and every mind. 'Cause I know there is peace within your presence. I speak Jesus. If you know it, sing it with us.
I just want to speak the name of Jesus till every dark addiction starts to break, declaring there is hope and there is freedom. I speak Jesus.
'Cause your name is power, your name is healing, your name is life. Break every stronghold, shine through the shadows, burn like a fire.
I just want to speak the name of Jesus over fear and all anxiety, to every soul held captive by depression. I speak Jesus.
'Cause your name is power, your name is healing, your name is life. Break every stronghold, shine through the shadows, burn like a fire. Sing it again, 'cause your name is power, your name is healing, your name is life. Your name is stronghold, shine through the shadows, burn like a fire. Shout Jesus.
Shout Jesus from the mountains, Jesus in the streets. Shout Jesus in the darkness over every enemy. Jesus for my family, I speak the holy name, Jesus.
Shout Jesus. Shout Jesus from the mountains, Jesus in the streets, Jesus in the darkness over every enemy. Jesus for my family, I speak the holy name, Jesus. 'Cause your name is power, your name is healing, your name is life.
presence, I speak Jesus.